Once there was a poor man. The man had 12 children, and his wife was pregnant with a 13th child. How can we live? How can we survive? We will all starve. So when the baby was born, the man took his little son and left home, looking for a godfather who would look after this little boy. He walked along the road. Soon he met a stranger. He wore long white robes. He seemed to glow. "I will be the godfather for your son." "Why, who are you?" And the stranger's hood fell back, and his eyes were bright. "Why, I am the Lord your God." "Then you cannot be godfather to my son. For you give to the rich, and you take from the poor. You are not just." And the poor man continued walking along the road. And there he met another figure, dark. There was a strong odour as he came close. And when he came, he saw that the stranger had burning red eyes. "I will be the godfather to your son." "Who are you?" said the poor man. And he drew back his hood, and there were horns upon his head. "Why, I am the devil, and I will make him powerful." "I will not trust the devil to be godfather to my son. For you cheat and mislead all people." And the poor man went on along the road, and finally, carrying his little boy, he came to a third figure that was old and bent in a long black robe, and in his bony fingers he held a sharp scythe. "I will be godfather to your son." "Who are you?" said the poor man. He drew back his hood, and his head was a bony skull. "I am Death." "Well, then I give my son to you. For death I can trust. You treat all people the same, whether they are poor or whether they are rich. You take your son. I will come back when he is a young man, and then I will make him the richest man in all of the land. All will be well." And Death went, and the old man returned home with his baby. And sure enough, all was well. His family had plenty to eat and to survive, and the little boy grew into a fine young man. And when he was about your age, Death returned. "Now I will take your son. I will make him the richest doctor in all of the land." He led the young man into the forest, and he said, "Look, here grows a green herb. Take this herb, and when you visit someone who is sick, look. If I am standing at the head of their bed, you will know that if you give them the green herb, they will recover. But if I, Death, am standing at the foot of their bed, there is nothing that can be done. They will die. Know this." Well, the young man took the green herb, and soon he heard about a woman that was ill. He went to her house and asked to go inside, and he, but no one else, could see Death standing at the head of the bed. He gave the green herb to the woman, and quickly she rose from the bed and she was well. Soon after that, he visited the house of a man who was sick. He went in, but Death was standing at the foot of the bed. There is nothing that can be done. Sure enough, the next day the man died. word spread around the people. There is a doctor. Just by looking, he knows whether people can be treated or will die. He is a great doctor. People started coming to him, inviting him, bringing him to those who were sick, and every time he judged correctly. One day, he was summoned to the palace, for the king was sick. The young doctor went into the palace thinking, here is my chance. The king is the richest man in all the land. I will also be rich. But when he went into the king's bedroom, he saw Death was standing at the foot of the bed. I wonder, how can I say the king will die? If the king would survive, then I will make money. I will be rich. Quick. And he told the servants to lift the bed and to turn the bed around. And when this was done, quickly he gave the green herb to the king, and the king sat up, and colour returned to his face, and all was well. The king said, "You are a fine doctor. I will reward you." And he was the richest doctor in all of the land. But that night, in his bed, Death came to visit him. "You tricked me, and you cannot cheat your godfather. I will take you now." "No," he said, "please, Godfather, forgive me. I made one mistake. You are my godfather. Give me one more chance." One more chance. Well, the young man, he wondered what would happen. Time passed. He carried on curing people and all was well, but one day he was called again to the palace. The king was not sick, but the beautiful young princess lay in her bed. "Come," said the king, "you can cure my doctor if you cured me." And he went there into her bedroom, and sure enough, Death was standing at the foot of her bed. "Oh, what can I do? She is so beautiful. How can I let her die?" And he forgot his promise. He lifted the princess in his own arms and turned her around and administered the green herb. And she rose from the bed and was well. "Ha!" said the king. "You are the greatest doctor that has ever lived. Tomorrow there will be a wedding. There will be nobles invited from all parts of the land. There will be great celebration. You will inherit everything. You will be our future king." The young doctor that night looked forward to his wedding day. But in the middle of the night, there appeared his godfather. Death was standing at the foot of his bed. "Oh, but please, I will be the richest man in the land. I will be the new king, oh Godfather." But Godfather did not listen. He seized him with his bony fingers and took him down, down into the underworld. And there in that place, they were in a cavern that was a sea of candles. Candles as far as the horizon. And Godfather Death spoke to the young doctor. "All of these candles, each one is a life. Some candles are tall, and they have a lot of life left. These are the young. Some candles are small, and they are near their end. Some burn brightly, for those are in good health. But some gutter and flicker, for they are sick. Godfather, show me my candle." And he went and pointed to a candle that was small and flickering and in a pool of wax. "Oh, let not this be the end of my life. Please light a new candle for me." one life. Oh, then take another candle and put my small candle on top of the big candle so it may continue to burn. And for a moment, just for a moment, he thought that death was going to help him. For death picked up a new candle. But at that moment, his candle guttered and was out. And the young doctor fell down, cold and dead. And death took the new candle and lit it. For when one life is ended, another life begins.